Welcome to Boatcast, a podcast on a boat happening here in Kerala, in Muziris. And Muziris, as you all know, is an old heritage port. This podcast is an initiative of Ishara House and Ari Archive, and generously sponsored and supported by the Muziris Heritage Project. And to speak about this, and it's very important, and it is not about pushing an agenda, but really to talk about how Kerala is talking about heritage and tourism and bringing them together. And with me is none other than the managing director of the Muziris project, Mr. Sharon Veettil. Welcome to Boatcast, sir.
Thank you.
And it is such an honor to have you in the show.
It's a pleasure for me too.
Yes. Till a few years back, none of us knew Muziris.
Right.
So it hats off actually to the government, and I'm talking about 6-7 years back. Now everybody talks about Muziris as an old port. So tell me, because there are many other historical sites in India, but Kerala has done a lot. And tourism and Kerala go together.
Right.
The famous line, as you know. So, what are the initiatives Muziris project does?
So, like you said, you spoke about like Muziris, not known to us for last 3 years. It has been in news. But then I'll tell you something. When it comes to Muziris is as old as, like, we are talking about something which is 3,000 years ago. You know, a history that spans over 3,000 years. And the thing is that it's about spice. So when we talk about spice, it's like spice we use everywhere, right? Like all the foods that we eat, somewhere around spices are being used. Let's say the most sold item on Swiggy or Zomato is biryani. And the famous of the spices that come, adds into it is coming from Kerala. So we are talking about a port that has been historically very significant from BC, before Christ, like 3,000 years ago. And all the places that we are traversing is like, relating to those spice trade. And Muziris is that particular port that had history of trade with more than 38 countries, from the ancient days. So Romans, Arabs, Dutch, Portuguese, everyone came here, and there were,
Spaniards.
Yeah, Spaniards, and all the people came here for spices. And the pepper that we sold as the highest quality. So still now, if you see the benchmarking of the pepper, it is against the spices that we grow here, like Malabar garbled or Talasheri garbled. These are port's name. Basically the name came from the port.
Oh.
So Muziris was one place where all these spices were sold, and they were taken to other countries. So you can say that in those days when Vasco da Gama or even Columbus was trying to come to India, the route that they were trying to discover is to Muziris.
Oh.
Yeah, because they wanted to go to the place where these spices came from. Because a quintal of pepper in those times is, costlier than gold.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, gold was nothing before a quintal of pepper. So that is the history that we are talking about. And this is being on a span of 3,000 years. And if you see even now today Kerala, we have spice brands that are, controlling almost 40% of the world's spice market.
Oh.
So the history starting from 3,000 years ago till today we are relevant. Now we are talking about the tourism side of it, because Muziris as a port, when we tried to discover from the excavations, we found a lot of materials which relates to different countries. And that history has to be taught to our younger generation, because we have we say that something, let's say with Raymond, we say that since some so and so years. So we can say that this is since 3000 BC.
Yes, and I think we should write that line.
Yeah, since 3000 BC. That's not single branch.
So the waters we are traveling, some Roman galley would have come.
Yes.
And so I went to a site here, which is a excavation site. I think it's in Paravur.
Paravur, yeah.
And I found they found some Roman coins, gold coins. Yes. And when was this excavation or started, or when did they discover?
They started talking about Muziris way back in 2000.
Okay.
And the excavations and all some began around 2008 and all. The main excavation that we are talking about, which evidenced about Muziris, came from Pattanam.
Okay.
Pattanam excavation was one place where we found a lot of remnants that evidenced our relation with those countries and history. We could find visible buildings here, like let's say Kottapuram Fort, which you see here, Cheraman Mosque. Then there is Saint Thomas Church. And the interesting is that, like I said, all these are the first in the country.
Yes.
The first church in the country, the first mosque in the country, and the first synagogue is around here. So you should understand that this used to be a very cosmopolitan place in those days. So let's say before the Singapore, before the Dubai, we had a cosmopolitan, port that had multiple communities coming here and trading with Indians. And Kerala was one place where their trading used to happen. I think if you see the community, Kerala community around the world, I think one of the reasons might be is that they are born, tradesmen, and they are born business people, and they have that kind of, welcoming to the other communities. They are, they mingle with other communities very well. That is why across the world, you see, they have settled very well in other countries and they are earning. Even today, anyone come to Kerala, they feel very good, They feel like they are home. It's like another home.
Yeah, and the thing about Kerala, and we've been speaking to some scholars too, Kerala people mix very well with others, and they let others come in and they accept them very well. So if you look at Mattancherry itself, there is so many communities together.
So that's the very interesting part. When you see other parts of the country, you can see that certain communities are living like colonies. But here you can see that within 100 meters, there is a Muslims mosque, there is a church, there is a synagogue, all in 100 meters. Which means that in your backyard there is another community man living, and that is an accepted way of living in from history. So that rightly said by you, because what connecting them is the trade, because they have a very close trade relation. They accept these communities because that is what is creating their livelihood.
Amazing. And so actually you said about the Cheraman Mosque.
Right.
That at Kodangallur, and then there is a church which is down here, which was, they say, is the
Saint Thomas has come into that place first, and that is where the Christianity started.
Yeah, and then and also the synagogue.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed this is in Chendamangalam. Yeah, where there is a church, there is a synagogue, and there is a mosque, all in the vicinity of say 20 to 30 meters.
Right. And even there is a cemetery of this Jewish community in that area. So all we can't believe that, because see, usually if there is a cemetery, it should be within a premises of their religious institution. But in such close proximity, multiple religious institutions existing, even a cemetery in that place means that is a kind of acceptance that we had in those days. So that says a lot about our trade history.
I saw amphoras and wine jars in Pattanam, and Kerala was actually so, and that we read in Asterix comics, the amphoras and all that. Now, what are the initiatives you're doing? Like a lot of people there are some 14 places you can visit through this boat itself.
Yeah. So I'll just explain you, a little bit about what tourism we are doing here. So one thing, like you said, about the amphoras and jars and everything. I'll tell you one tagline which I captured when I came here is that when I read the entire history, I found 3 words very important. That's pepper, gold, and liquor.
Oh, pepper, gold, and liquor, right?
Because you see wine jars, you see places where this pepper is being stored. Then you see gold in these places, because that is how the trading happened those days. Liquor came in, was sold for pepper. Gold came in, pepper was sold for against the gold. So that is the barter system that we had those days. So that is the kind of trade system that we had. And what Muziris is doing is that Muziris is a project where it has a unique way of doing things. We restored sites which has been active, like let's say the Cheraman Juma Masjid. It is still a place where people go for prayers. So that's kind of a living museum concept where we restored the places into the old model and still people are using it. That means like something which is historically significant is still being used by people. So usually in archaeological, when we mark archaeological sites, we don't give outside entry. Like public are restricted in those places. In a limited way, they can go and see it. But here it is a living museum concept. Basically, we have restored the places. It's still accessible to people, and some places are even owned by people who were owning it before. Like Paliam Palace, it's still owned by the Paliam royal family. It means that we have not taken annexed it. Rather, we did like a joint project. We restored the place, revived it, and still people are using it like their own residence and their own prayer places. So that's a unique way of how we have restored things. Then second is that how we have connected it. Like old ways, entire region, it is people don't go by roads. Here what happens is that people come to the gateway of Muziris. That's near the Bunakal beach, where from here like a few meters away from here. So wherein people load their pepper into these larger ships. From there, they come into these smaller boats and go to these odd places where they have storages. So like Kottapuram Fort is one of the storage places.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is being used by the Dutch and later the Portuguese for storing their goods. So it is protected because that time I said like pepper is more expensive than gold, so it has to be protected. So they had weapons, everything to actually protect that area so that people don't come in and steal away their things. So all these places you can see by water. That is what the experience that Muziris is offering. So like how we are traversing today, you can go by water in these boats to 15 places, wherein all these 15 places are nearby certain historic attractions or places we have restored. So this is what experience we offer.
And another thing I saw is, if you see in terms of dollars,
Right.
it is so affordable.
Yeah.
It is, it's what? It is in
Hardly any money.
money, hardly any money. So, and if I were to experience this anywhere abroad, I would have paid at least $150 to $200, this kind of experience. And you're giving it to everybody. So I request everybody to use this opportunity to come and see the places around Muziris.
Yes.
Last time when we met,
Yeah.
this and because this whole show is called Amphibian Aesthetics, and we are actually talking about ports and sea and sea routes. This is a national waterway.
Exactly.
Yes, tell us more about it, because this our viewers.
That's a very interesting thing that you asked, because we have seen highways, right? National highways, but there is something called national waterway.
Oh, is it?
That is where it is an identified route which is used for people to travel by boats or ships. So this is one of the established national waterways. So you go to Alappuzha also, you can see you are going by a national waterway. It is written like NH66. They have written a number with a code saying that this is a national waterway. So that's very interesting that you are traveling actually through a channel which is used for so many historical, from historic times to present day, for people to travel and do the trade. And till now it is relevant.
It's so beautiful, so important, and I want to talk to Google to get this. Their act together on this national because they don't show the waterway.
I think in
Google
Kerala
Maps.
you have to start showing it, because this is also one place. In Kochi we have the first water metro in country, and it is very much successful. People are traveling by water metro to different parts of the places, and it's a modern boat, completely solar powered, and green energy is being used. And we are also thinking about extending that boat service to this part. So actually connecting between Cochin and Muziris. So that is going to be the next phase of it, and certainly that is going to bring more crowd from about Fort Kochi to this part.
I was doing this boat ride. I only wish I didn't have this podcast to do. I would have sat with a book and
Just,
and,
chill out and,
chill
spend your
out.
time. And you have a lot to see around, when you travel itself, you can see life around your, all the sides.
So, sir, this is the space around which you work. I want to ask you, how can you work here? This is, as you said, it's such a chilled out place,
So it's more of passion than work. That's what I want to tell you. The project that we are creating here, it's very different in terms that we have heritage, we have natural places, we have food, lot of things that we can do here. We are combining that into circuits and marketing it. That's what I wanted to tell you. So we have boating here. You can see historical sites. You can relish a seafood. You can go around, see the villages. You can see greenery, paddy fields, everything. That's what Muziris is offering. Muziris is not just about history, but then it's also about what in a capsule you can see the Kerala. You can see rivers, you can see a little bit of backwaters, you can see the beaches, you can see the historical sites. So what better we can offer, a place where you can spend 5 or 6 days and, see around and experience the real Muziris.
Oh, yes. And I would request students across India to come and study a few things. One is tourism and the way you all are managing it. So you said, this is interesting that you allow people to pray in the mosque, and you like the Paliam Palace. I went there too.
Yes.
So there you gave it to the owners.
Yeah.
While people may think this is a nice thing to do, I feel it is a smart thing to do too.
Exactly.
Because if in Islam there is a concept, in Hindi they say abad rahe. So if it is in use, then it will sustain.
That's the idea.
And that's what you're doing. So tell me more about this.
The thing is that in these places, what we are trying to do is that we want people to understand that you're living in a very historical place, and the places are important. Where you're living itself is a heritage building. So they understand the importance of it, so that they sustain the buildings. No matter the government invest or not, there is some kind of a revenue proposition from tourism that will, give that push to them to sustain this. Example, what I'll tell you, when Paliam Palace people come and tourists come in, whatever revenue that is coming out of it, government is not taking it back. It is being, accounted and put in an account jointly operated by the Paliam Palace and the Muziris projects. All the maintenance is going out of that particular account. So that's how these buildings are being, conserved, and sustained conservation is happening. So unless we do that, these buildings will perish. What happened other sites is that government invests a lot. Then it is marked as an archaeological site. Then when there is no budget or there is some kind of a constraint, the conservation stops, and somewhere or other this building will perish. So here there is a different model. That is why Muziris is a company. The reason Muziris is a company is that we create spaces, then we sustain it through income generation. That income is coming from tourism. And I will also tell you, it's not just about buildings. We are also preserving the local culture. So let's say a person is coming for a heritage walk. You see all the places, and at the end of the time, we call upon an artist, like someone who is playing a chenda, the traditional drum, and he's demonstrating that to the crowd, and he's being paid 2,000 rupees for that demonstration. So he's earning revenue out of a local art. So that is one reason for him to be using that again and again. Otherwise, the newer generation, unless there is an income, they tend to go to other professions. So just imagine a person is earning 2,000, 5,000 rupees a day on a local art form, and he's making like 50,000 or 60,000 a month. Is that not a bad job?
It's a great thing. In fact, you're doing a lot more, and more than that. Yeah. When you encourage art forms, the aesthetics in the people improves. So overall, I see the aesthetics and the cleanliness in the entire area beautiful.
That is an other important aspect of it. See, when you think that what you are sustaining creates a value, like wherever you're staying or your surroundings, or all what we are doing is a product that actually generates income for you, then you're supposed to maintain it well. So that is one concept behind it. See what happens in other places. You have seen that certain forts and all people go and draw their names. You won't find that here.
Raju loves Seema.
Yeah, and that you won't find it here, because here we are taking care of it like our own place, like because there is an income coming from them and we have to sustain it. We maintain it in certain intervals. We invest back into it. So that is how and people own it. You go to anyone in this Muziris region, ask what is Muziris. They know better than a researcher. They have seen the entire journey of that project, because it's very closely related to the communities and people own it. So you will see Muziris School Bar, you will see Muziris Repair Shop, you will see Muziris Automobiles, because see, you should see that this name is being used by the locals, because they really feel the pride that we are coming from a place, an ancient port, which has historically significance of 3,000 years, and this history is being taught everywhere. So that the way that we intervened with the communities, everyone is that they're very well aware about what the project is, and they think that this is what next phase is, and they have to be part of it. So artisans, artists, the local community, the students, the tourists, and Muziris projects, researchers, everyone is building a project, kind of a living museum here, for people to come and experience. So basically you come to Muziris, you're part of the living.
Yes.
You're not, showcasing a museum here, come and see and go. You're part of a living style. You see the mosque where people are still praying. You go to a village where a local artisan is making some kind of product which he has been making for his generations,
Or these Chinese nets.
Yeah, Chinese nets.
Yes.
So that is what we are doing.
Another thing, I've done enough of waterways, some boat trips and all that across India. It pains me to tell you that I see plastic bottles and non-biodegradable, and on hillsides, which are beautiful hill stations, I see noodles, Maggi noodles and all that. Here, because of this ownership, the people have kept it so beautifully.
Really, and I'll tell you something, there is a very good initiative from government side also. Here, we have a decentralized system of waste management. So that's a specialty of Kerala government. What they have done is that, they have Haritha Sena, which is women self-help groups, which has been converted, and they are, handling the waste. So what they are doing is, it's rather, collecting waste. They have started putting up measures to avoid, waste generation. Like they have given free, compost units at home. They have free, waste segregation mechanisms. So wherein, you can go and deposit properly, and this waste is collected on time. And you pay fee for it. It's not free. You pay a fee for it, and it's electronically collected. That, now I have seen that recently you get message. While you collect the money, you get a message. That's the transparent system that we have. And that has significantly improved the waste management in the entire area. So people started, every home, this green, in the Haritha Sena, go and collect the waste.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a waste management system that we have adopted. And second thing I'll tell you, Kerala government for a long time is practicing responsible tourism.
Oh.
It's called, being more responsible. So we are not talking about a responsible citizen, but it's also a responsible traveler. Because you go to a place, you have to respect their traditions. You go to any European countries, all the Indians who put their waste and throw out the waste, when they go to Europe, they are very disciplined. They don't throw the waste.
I find the same here.
Yeah.
I find every tourist, nobody.
That's what a place teaches them. We say that you come to our place, you have to respect our rules. That is, you don't have to throw the waste. You have to have a certain rules. See, still in Kerala, there are certain places you see the waste, because outside when people come in, they don't respect the rules. See, what is giving us this kind of a chillful, area? Just imagine it's filled up with water bottles and waste. What is the feeling that we get?
Yeah.
So Kerala is about connecting back to your, your kind of a home. We have actually played this ad during COVID. Come out and play. Because we want people to come out to the outdoor areas and enjoy that peaceful atmosphere, fresh air, and go around, have scenic sights. I think in the, those living in urban areas, including Delhi, Bombay, we actually want them to invite to Muziris, come experience that chill out, slow life.
But Kerala traditionally has had the highest rate of literacy, has phenomenal investment in public health care. And now poverty alleviation also, its indexes are the best in, right?
Yeah, actually, government has an initiative that, when all this, let's say, even the Muziris, if you see the Muziris, it's very closely connected to the communities. Every project that we do, we are trying to create income to the local community so that people think, they have to protect the assets. So what is the product here? That is the most important understanding. In a tourism, the product is destination. If you don't, protect the destination, whatever tourism you do, ultimately, if the destination is getting, harmed, like a lot of waste generation and things like that, ultimately, what will happen is that, people will choose other places, and you are the loser. So here we understand that importance, and we are investing totally on places. Rather than, creating things, we are also investing on places. So that is the understanding, that is the policy making that we are doing. Responsible Tourism Mission is actually implementing that policy at the ground level, teaching how to, actually make good use of tourism. What is the best way of practicing tourism, without waste generation, being a very good host, doing things which is ethically right. So that is the way tourism progresses here. And the government also thinks that, poverty alleviation and, providing with them with the very basic facilities, like, let's say, health. If you go here, I remember that during the COVID time, a group of foreigners was stuck in India and in Kerala. They were admitted in a government hospital, and they were really, mesmerized by the kind of facilities and, cleanliness that hospital had. Very clean toilets, very dry floors, beds as good as a private hospital. They said, this is what a common free man gets free of cost. So just imagine what the private hospitals would be. So that is what Kerala does here.
In fact, I have experienced that myself. So I see that the government is plowing back money into the people, and not having these grand schemes and all that. Which so I find this a very fluid system.
That can be seen as a result also, because recently I've seen that per capita income, Kerala jumped from 14th position to 5th position in India.
Oh.
So that is because people are, at the end, people are getting more income, because see, the reason is that you employ a person here for a daily job, he gets 1,500 rupees a day. I have seen that in Bombay. I was living in Bombay. I have seen people calling upon for local labor. They will even not pay 100 rupees a day. Here people are paid 1,500, and still you don't get people to actually work for. So that standardization has happened over the years, and you can see that reflection around every project, including Muziris, the tourism projects that we do. Everywhere the local community income generation is a main aim, and we have a policy making which is about sustaining the culture, sustaining the place. So, like you see, one thing you will notice in Kerala is that even though we are a very modern community, well educated, with very good cities and all, we hold on to the traditions. We still go to the temples. We still dress very traditionally. We still love those, our local food and stuff like that. And we keep a very close connect. Every Keralite, even though he might work everywhere around the world, during Onam he wants to go to Kerala.
Yes. And lastly, Onam is a community festival, not a religious festival.
Yes.
It is celebrated by every community, right?
Yes. So that is, I see, that has a very close connection to what Muziris is also about. Because as you said, rightly said, within 100 meters, you're seeing multiple religious communities coexisting. So that has been in blood of Kerala for being very receptive and accommodating to everyone. So it is in our gene that, everything is celebrated together, Here, Eid al-Fitr, even if there is a Muslim community very near to me, I remember all those snacks they make, it's in my home in the evening. Because we can go and relish it. And during Onam, everyone celebrates Onam. Regardless, it's not a community thing. It's about everyone in Kerala, that it's a common festival. So every celebration, every festival here is being, like, I'll tell you one example. Thrissur Puram. Thrissur Puram is entirely organized by multiple communities, not just Hindu community. You come here, you will see a Christian association sponsoring an entire part of the Thrissur Puram. because that is a local pride, they really cherish the common pride, things. They really cherish that culture, and they hold on to it, and they are ready to pay or whatever expenses to actually maintain that culture. I've seen that people spending huge money into festivals, because that's the rejoicing that they get. Every year Perunal is happening or a festival is happening, they want to go to the state, and they will spend an ample amount of money to actually make that festival more vibrant.
It's been fabulous talking to you. Muziris and Muziris project and this place is a must visit, and for if Kerala is a must visit, but Muziris itself, this entire stretch and this route, you need to go and see as many sites as possible, and all these are significant part of our country's history, not only Kerala's history.
Exactly.
Because we need to take pride in it, and come and visit here. It was so nice talking to you, Sharon, sir. And we should do more with all these places around. And let's do, because it's such a beautiful format.
There's a lot to talk also. Actually, Muziris is one place I really recommend, not just for tourists. A lot of touristic experience.
We will
Learning
talk.
Is, more.
I would love to cook a fish
fry,
fish fry, or by this.
We should definitely do that.
Yeah, or though I don't, and try some pepper and
a peppery beef.
Yes. Thank you so much. And again, Muziris projects and Muziris Heritage Project is has supported this project, and which is why we can get you all the knowledge and the intellect you're getting through these through this Boatcast. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.